Hey guys! Alright, so today I am going to talk about my symptoms before I got my surprise BFP. I'm still in disbelief, by the way, even though I'm wrapping my head around it and I'm so excited. But yeah, so I didn't know that I'd ovulated or anything like that. So it was a surprise to get a positive when I did. So I wasn't really symptom spotting because we weren't TTCing or anything like that, but there was a couple things that tipped me off to take a pregnancy test. And then now looking back, there are things that I'm like, that would explain that. So let's go ahead and talk about all of the fun symptoms and stuff that I had before getting my BFP. The first thing that I noticed was that I could not stop eating. I just wanted food and food and food and food and food. And I just attributed it to working out a lot and breastfeeding, and I just thought I was like starving. But the weird part was that I was craving a lot of kind of junk food or like takeout food and stuff that I don't normally eat a lot of. And I had to have it. Like, I had to have cheesecake. I had to have Taco Bell. Like, it was stupid stuff that I don't normally eat. And I was like, what is wrong with me? So that was the first thing that made me kind of question whether I was pregnant or not. The second thing that was really what made me take a pregnancy test, James was on his way home from work and I was like, I need Chick-fil-A. And he's like, oh, okay. Like, we don't get takeout food a lot. So he's like, sure, why not? So he picks it up and I ate it and I was taking bites of it and I felt really sick on my stomach. Like, it just didn't taste right and it was making me nauseous. And earlier that day when I ate lunch, the same sort of thing happened, just on a smaller scale. I just felt really nauseous after I ate and I'm like, oh, okay. The only time I ever feel like that is when I'm pregnant. And then the third thing that I did notice was I was being so cranky. Like, everything James was doing was annoying me, which, I mean, he likes to annoy me purposefully, but just stupid things I was getting so annoyed with. And I'm like, what? Or like everything. Actually, it wasn't just James. Anything anybody was doing, I was like, that's so annoying. And yeah, so then I decided to take a pregnancy test, which, as you guys saw, was positive. And so that explained all of that. But then looking back, I'm like, okay, there were some other things too, like that. So I found out Friday evening. That's when I first got a super faint positive. Earlier that day I'd been at the gym and I was doing a really good workout, but it wasn't anything crazier than what I would normally do every day at the gym. And I kept getting really lightheaded and I was like, what is wrong with me? What? I'm not a baby. Like, I can do this. What is my deal? So, and the day before I'd felt a little bit dizzy too when I worked out, but not as much as on Friday. So dizziness for sure was one of the things that should have been huge, like, hey, probably pregnant. Another thing looking back, I kept telling James that I was smelling weird things, or like things smelled different. So Jonathan is potty trained and he normally goes in the big boy potty, but at night we have his little potty out just because he doesn't have to get up on a stool and stuff like that. So in the morning I empty it out and I was gagging. And so I told James, I'm like, I think there's something wrong with Jonathan because his pee smells really bad. And he was like, I mean, like, I emptied it out the other day and it was fine. And I was like, you don't smell that? And he was like, no, you're crazy. So yeah, so that was another big thing. I could smell all the things. And then there was definitely other things that I remember smelling that I thought was like horrible or super intense. So that should have been another red flag that I just didn't notice until after the fact. But yeah, those were really my main things that tipped me off that I might be pregnant, and that ended up being a BFP. So right now I should be somewhere around 5 weeks, but I don't exactly know because I don't have a period to base it off of, and I don't know exactly when I ovulated. But another thing looking back that I realized, there was one night, I don't exactly remember how many days after I had my wisdom teeth pulled, but it was a couple at least. I remember waking up in the middle of the night and I had really bad cramping and I thought I was gonna start my period. But judging by when I got the positive pregnancy test, I guarantee that's probably when I ovulated. So, and I didn't even think about it because I don't know, it was just cramping. I really didn't have any other like huge ovulation signs like I normally do. And that's one of the reasons why I think I was so shocked, because I'm like, we've TTC'd for like ever. Like I will know when I'm ovulating. I know when I'm ovulating. I will know. Clearly I didn't. I'm gonna maybe say it's because I just had my wisdom teeth pulled and maybe I was a little out of it, just a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I'm thankful because now I'm pregnant and we can have another baby, and that's the greatest thing in the world. But yeah, so basically I'm somewhere around 5 weeks. I think I have my first appointment on Wednesday, and I doubt they'll do an ultrasound, which is fine because I'd probably only be 5.5-ish weeks. I don't know. We're gonna find out though. So hopefully everything goes well with that. And I haven't done any bump dates yet just because I kind of want to go to the doctor first. I don't really know why. Obviously I know I'm pregnant, but just something about going to the doctor and then being like, yes, you are pregnant, and maybe something else, either an ultrasound or like something, a blood test, I don't know, anything will, I don't know, just make it seem a little bit more real, I guess. But yeah, so hopefully by next week I will start doing bump dates, which I'm so excited about. And it's just crazy. This is crazy to me. But you know, the first, if you guys have been following me for a while, you know that the first part of pregnancies for me are scary because of all the miscarriages we've had. So, you know, I'm starting to feel a little bit nervous again, but I'm just hoping that everything's fine, and I'm trying to have faith that everything's fine. But yeah, anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to going along on this journey with you guys. But anyway, I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.